Good morning, viewers. Welcome to Sunday Olubenga Koni's online tutorial. And before I continue with the lecture, I will like to implore you to please subscribe to this video, like it, and also share it with other people. So without any cause for delay, I want to start with the lecture of today titled Audit, Assurance and Forensic, and the topic of the lecture is Concept and Need for Assurance. Part 1 of the lecture has been treated about 2 weeks ago, and this is the part 2 of the lecture. In our last lecture, we talked about the objective of external audit. We also discussed the concept of stewardship, accountability, and agency. And we also look at elements of an assurance engagement. In our lecture of today, we want to look at the regulatory framework of statutory audit. That is, the regulations that guide statutory audits. The first one we shall be looking at is the requirement for an external audit, and the section of the law that look at that is section 401 of the Company and Allied Matter Act 2020. So you see that in most countries the law regulates the profession of audit, and one of those law that also regulates the conduct of companies that annually each company must have the external audit of the account or financial statement prepared by them, particularly if they are listed company or large company. So but there are some companies which can be described as small company, in which the shareholders are also the directors. Those companies are referred to as small company, and according to section 402 of CAMA 2020, so a company qualifies as a small company in a year if for that year the following conditions are satisfied. Number one is that it is a private company having a share capital. Then B, the amount of its turnover for that year is not more than 120 million naira, or such amount as may be fixed by the commission. So when you say commission here, what we mean is, in Nigerian context, the Corporate Affairs Commission. So that is the meaning of the commission that we are having here. Then the C, that is the third one, its net asset, that is the net asset of that company, is not more than 60 million naira, or such amount as may be fixed by the commission. Then the fourth one, none of its member is an alien, meaning that none of the member of that company is a foreigner. Then the fifth one is that none of its member is a government or a government corporation or agency or its nominee. And finally, the directors between them hold not less than 51% of the equity share capital of the company. So that is that about the small company audit exception. So we shall now move on to eligibility to act as an external auditor. Eligibility to act as an external auditor. So the eligibility to act as an external auditor is determined by membership of a particular accounting profession. For example, in Nigeria, membership of an ICAN, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, or for those people that belong to other accounting profession like ANAN, a membership of such professional body, and secondly, registration with the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria. So those are what make a member eligible to act as an external auditor. Then P, registration with the Financial Council of Nigeria. So we see that the profession body such as ICAN, they regulate the conduct of their members. That one is described as self-regulations. So self-regulations, and it involve matter as the professional body offering professional qualification for member to provide evidence that auditors possess minimum technical competence. Then it will also involve ensuring that members maintain their technical competence through a program of continuous professional development. In Nigeria, we have what is called NCPE. MCPE, that is mandatory continuing professional education, or you can substitute this E with D and it will become mandatory continuing professional development. So another thing is that ICAN also ensure that their members carry out their audit work in accordance with appropriate technical standards such as international standard on auditing, and they also ensure that procedures are put in place to make sure that members comply with the rules and regulation of the professional body, and that will also involve investigation of complaint that is laid against a particular member and implementing disciplinary measures where appropriate. So, and the third one will be that the profession, that is the regulatory body, ICAN, we have a list of qualified auditors which they will make available to the public when necessary. So the other one is, we have discussed the first one, self-regulation by the profession. And second one is regulation by the government. So as an alternative to self-regulation, the government can appoint a public body who are going to monitor the activities of the auditors, and the role of such public body will include ensuring that audits are performed by proper and fit individuals who act with professional integrity. They will also ensure that measures are put in place to sanction or implement disciplinary action against any auditor as it may be necessary. So that is that about eligibility to act as an external auditor. But the law also make it possible for some individuals to be ineligible as an auditor even though they are member of the accounting body, in order to maintain the independence of those auditors. As per Nigerian law, the following individuals are pronounced ineligible to act as an auditor. Number one is an officer or servant of a company. And number two is a person who is a partner of or in the employment of an officer or servant of a company. Then the last one is a body corporate. So the next thing we shall be looking at here is the rights and duties of an external auditor. Rights and duties of external auditors. So the main rights, duties of an external auditors first. Duties of an external auditor. So first one is that to examine the financial statement and number B, to provide an auditor's reports and present it to provide an auditor's report on the financial statement and present it to the shareholders together with the financial statement. according to section 407 of CAMA 2020, the auditor is also required to give opinion on matter stated in Schedule 5, Section 404, subsection 2 of CAMA 2020 as follows. 1. Whether they have obtained all information and explanation, that is from management, necessary for the proper conduct of their audit. 2. Whether their opinion proper books of account have been kept by the company so far as it appears from their examination of those books and adequate returns necessary for their audits have been received from branches not visited by them Three, whether in their opinion the company statement of financial position and unless it is termed consolidated statement of profit or loss, the profit or loss of the company presented in the report agree with the book of accounts and returns. And number 4, whether in their opinion the company statement of financial position and the profit and loss account as have been prepared in a manner prescribed by the Act and show a true and fair view of the state of affairs and performance of the company. And lastly, for a company that submit consolidated financial statement. Such company is known as holding company. For a company that submits consolidated financial statement, whether the statements have been prepared in a manner prescribed by the Act. So the Act we are talking here is Company and Allied Matter Act, to show the true and fair view or present fairly the state of affairs and performance of the holding company, its subsidiaries, and associates. Then we move to the right of the external auditors. So the law give certain rights to the external auditor, which can also be called power, in order to enable them carry out their statutory duties correctly and effectively. So those rights are what I want to start mentioning here. Number one, right of access to all accounting books and records at all time. Number two, right to receive all information and explanation right to receive all the information and explanations from management necessary for the proper conduct of his audit. Number 3, right to receive a copy of all notices of shareholders meeting such as annual general meeting, annual general meeting, and to attend those meetings. Then number 4, right to speak at shareholders meetings on matters that affect the auditors, the audit, or the auditors. This could be necessary and very important where there is a disagreement between the auditor and the management of the client entity, and there is no other better way to express himself than to express it in the annual general meeting. And lastly, if the company uses written resolution, the auditor should have the right to receive a copy of all such resolution. So a written resolution is the resolution of the company that has been put in writing. For example, the company have decided and resolved that they want to go and borrow 500 million naira from GTB. They have assigned staff to follow up, so they will put it down in writing and 2 of their directors will sign. That written version is what is called a written resolution. So the auditor has a right to collect that written resolution, because in future by the time they start this audit, that is a kind of audit evidence. If you see it in the statement of financial position that now long-term loan 500 million naira, you will know where that is coming from, because he has a copy of that resolution with him already. So lastly, we shall be considering responsibilities of management and those charged with governance. Responsibility of management and those charged with governance. So management are those people that carry out day-to-day operation of the company, whereas those charged with governance, they are those people that set strategic direction for the company. So and their head is the chairman of the company, and members of those charged with governance, they are the non-executive directors of the company. So contrary to the belief of some member of the public about the role of the auditors, some people think it is the auditor that prepare the company financial statement. Some people even think that it is the primary duty of the auditor to prevent and detect fraud. No, it is not so. Those responsibilities are the responsibility of management and those charged with governance, as they will be written on the board. So number one, prevention and detection of fraud and errors. That is one responsibility of management and those are the preparation of the financial statement. Then number three, design and implementation of internal control. So those are the responsibilities of management and those charged with governance. So they are also responsible for, let me make that one number 4, provision of necessary information to auditor in respect of the financial statement and the audit. And lastly, they provide provision of written representation to the auditor at the end of the audit. Thank you very much for watching. As I have mentioned at the beginning of the lecture, please subscribe to this lecture, like it, and also share with others. And should you have any reason to contact me for any kind of assistance, you can reach me on this phone number that I'll be writing on the board. Zero 33 976820. 0033976820. Thank you very much for watching. See you in our next video. Thank you.